Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back again to my channel. I hope all is well with you. So today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I stopped using these popular bar soaps, the reason why you might as well stop using it, and the replacement that I have for these soaps, okay? And this does not imply for everyone because not everyone is dealing with the same skin condition as myself or as some of us out there. All right, so that being explained, let us get all right. So growing up from my teenage years down to my full-blown adult age, I have always had a very complicated skin, in the sense that the skin on my face down to my shoulders is really oily. I have a very oily skin and a very sweaty skin, so the skin on those areas is really moisturized, is always soft, is always supple and glowy, and I also break out at times, even on my shoulders and at my back. Okay, so now I can't say the same thing from my knees down to my feet and my hands. The skin on my hands, my palms, from my knees down to my feet is really dry, very dehydrated, very rough to touch, and it is not even looking like a skin of a young person. So this is not something that I caused for myself. This is totally genetic. It's the way I was born. I think I inherited this dry, hard skin from one of my parents. So this is just the way it is for me. My hands, my knees down to my feet is very dry. Like, you can literally, in fact, you will see wrinkles, and when you give me a handshake, you'll be asking me, like, what do you do with your hands that is this dry and very rough? So I grew up, with that, and at first it wasn't even a thing of concern to me because I was just a young girl. I knew nothing about skincare or about self-care, so I just grew up carrying my dry hands and my dry legs all over the place. If you are a Roman Catholic, you know that there is a time during the Mass when the priest will say we should give each other a sign of peace, which is usually a handshake. You give your neighbor a handshake, and if you know your neighbor too well, you can give them a hug, okay? But mostly it is a handshake. And each time I give my neighbors a handshake, they always look at me in a very, like, why are your hands that dry? You could tell, and some people will not even hide it, will just tell you that your hands are really dry, your hands are so rough. They say this out of joke, but inside of me, it was beginning to mess with my self-confidence. I started losing my self-confidence because I felt somehow, when people keep asking you, why is your hands really dry? When you shake someone, they keep saying that. So because of that, I always leave the church whenever it is time for giving a sign of peace. I just leave the church, and once they are done with the handshake and all of that, I will come back inside the church. So this kept happening until one day I was like, no, enough is enough. I'm going to really find out why my skin is this way. Okay, what do I do to make it better and all of that? And also, I was breaking out a lot on my face and my shoulders, so I had to look into skincare, look into myself, look into my skin to know what works and what do not work. Okay, and that is when I started reading this book. This is a face and body book. It's a face and body book, The Practical Guide to Looking Good. Okay, and it is a very old book, but the knowledge in this book ever liveth. Like, the knowledge in this book still applies for today's world, and this book has helped me a lot to understand the body of a woman and also the human skin and all of that, and how to take care of yourself. So from this book, I learned that there are some soaps that have a foaming agent that are not friendly for your skin. So in summary, what they are trying to say is that the lesser foamy your soap is, the better for your dry skin. So if you have a dry skin, go for soaps that are not really foamy, soaps that don't foam a lot. So they explain in this book that if you want to take care of your dry skin, if you want to have a better skin, or if you want just your dry skin or rough skin or tough skin to look better, you should go for soaps that are not really foamy. Okay, you're not going to enjoy it anyway, because having your bath with a soap that doesn't really foam can be really stressful in the bathroom. When you're having your shower and there is foam everywhere, it's lathering so well, it helps, it gives you an easy wash and all of that, but that will end up drying up your skin, and you don't even want that. Okay, so I learned that from this book, and I started looking into the soaps that I am using to have my bath all this while, and to know which one does not work for my skin. So that is when I started looking into my soaps, and I found out that most of these soaps in particular, were really drying out my skin. Like, it was really drying out my skin, so I had to put a stop to it. So the soaps that I use now in place of these ones are Dove bar soaps. Dove bar soaps are pretty affordable, and they really, I don't know, there's the technology in the way they formulate their soaps is really amazing, because you get a very foamy a very creamy, foamy soap that doesn't still dry out your skin. You get, it's more like a win-win situation here, whereby your soap is foamy, though not that foamy, you know, but it is still foamy, and at the same time it does not dry out your skin, which is really amazing. And they also nourish your skin. So I started using Dove bar soaps a lot, though not only Dove. I have been using Cushion baby soap as well, and also palm olive soap. I have been using these soaps, and also Nivea, the one that has honey, and I'll leave the picture on the screen for you to see. So I have been using these soaps, and for the past 3 months, I cannot believe the result. Like, my skin feels very soft and very, it looks like a skin of a young person that I am. But when I was using the other type of soap, my skin will feel really dry. And you might be wondering, don't I put on a moisturizer? I put on a moisturizer, but it is still not enough. And this book made it clear that if you have a dry skin, you should start building, you should start working on your skin right from the cleansing procedure, right from your cleansing routine. You should not say, okay, fine, when it's time for moisturizer, I'm going to moisturize my skin, or you give your skin the moisture that it needs. It says that you should start from your cleansing process to build up that moisture. You should avoid soaps that will not allow your skin to at least feel nourished after you have had your bath. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you the ingredients the other soaps, I'll leave them here, have in their bar soap, because they will tell you what they want to tell you in their ingredient list. However, we don't know what they have in their soap because we're not in their production room to know what they have in their soap. But I can tell you how my skin feels after using this type of bar soaps. My skin feels really dry, dehydrated. There's wrinkles all over my hands and my legs, and I can't even flex my hands freely because if my hands feel so shrinked up after using this type of soaps. Okay, now after using the Dove soap, it is not the same experience as using this one. These soaps, it just makes my skin feel so good and so nice and so relaxed. So that is why I prefer now to be using this. So now for my face, I usually use the salicylic acid face wash or benzoyl peroxide, but benzoyl peroxide face washes is really expensive. I do not know why, but I find the salicylic acid face wash to be really affordable, which still work very well for those with oily skin. So I use face wash that has salicylic acid in it, or face washes that has a benzoyl peroxide, you know, mixed with other ingredients as well. But if for any reason I cannot find any face wash that has salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, or I cannot afford one at the moment, I can still go back and use this bar soap because they work well for those with oily skin. So if you have oily skin, or if you have a very sweaty skin, like you sweat a lot, I will advise you to use soaps like this. But if you don't sweat a lot, because for me, I have never sweated on my hands or from my knees down to my feet. There are some people that sweat on their legs, that sweat on their hands, you know, all over their body. They sweat everywhere. It's not for some of us. Some of us don't sweat all over our body. If I cannot find a face wash that has salicylic acid in it, then I can always use these bar soaps, either Dudu on Shore or kojic acid and all of that. I can use that to wash my face, my shoulders, and that is where it ends. I don't even bother about my thighs. No, I just use it on my face and my shoulders, and I'm good to go. Okay, then I'll use the Dove bar soap on the rest of my body. That is how I do it if I don't find any salicylic acid face wash. But if I do, I use that for my face, my shoulders, and I use my Dove, either Dove or Cushion or palm olive bar soap or Nivea. I'll use it on the rest of my body. So if you have a very tight skin on your hands and your legs, I will advise you to go for soaps that says for sensitive skin, for dry skin, soaps that say gentle cleansing or sensitive skin, or you know, mild cleansing. You know, soaps like that are really good for those with tight skin or dry skin or dehydrated skin. It's going to help your skin to get some, it will help your skin to just breathe. Like, you're going to feel the difference when you start using soaps like the Dove bar soaps and the rest. Okay, and also I have stopped using powder detergents to wash my toilet. Before, I used to use it to wash my toilet because I mean, that is what we grew up using to wash toilets, right? But once my hands get in contact with it, my hands or my legs get in contact with it, I get this dry skin as well, and sometimes my hand will start peeling. So I have stopped using those powder detergents to wash my toilet. Rather, I buy a liquid soap in the market and I use that to wash my toilet, and it works perfectly fine, and my hands doesn't get too dried or get shrinked after doing my cleaning or doing my laundry. Okay, and for my laundry I use bar soaps that are good for laundries. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it did, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more skincare videos. Luchi cares. Bye guys.